He's done it!
Throws up the floater.
Oh, astonishing.
Pulls off three-pointer.
We're going to go ahead and get started. We are back with another episode of Off the Record. I am your host, Bailey Jackson, joined by my lovely co-host, Lachelle Smith. We have a lot of football to talk about this week, but before we get into it, Lachelle, tell me, how was your weekend? What you been up to?
You know, it was good. What did I do this weekend? I didn't do too much, actually. I was chilling. A lot of people know, if you follow me on TikTok, I just finished the Cowboys doc, The Gambler and His Cowboys. You know, got some people watching it, got them kind of into it. I enjoyed it a lot. Finishing that has been really fun. It doesn't make me a Cowboys lover. I'm still very much a hater, but I will say I understand it now. I understand everything as to why you guys, if you are a Cowboys fan, you are in a very abusive relationship and you just can't leave because this is real for you and you love it and you've seen it through the good times. I don't think I love Jerry Jones any more or less than I already felt, but I also understand him too now. And I think that's a good piece of art if I could leave saying, okay, maybe I get it. Still don't like y'all, but I get it.
Wasn't enough to sway you in a different direction, but it was enough for you to at least be a little bit more understanding. And that seems like a success. If I were to be on the producing side of this movie.
Yeah, it's a win. I mean, people are going to feel how they want to feel. Like, we talk about Jerry all the time and we talk about the Cowboys. Watching it, I did understand why. To me, he's just like repeating things that have already worked for him. Like, the contract thing is not anything new. He was doing it with Emmitt Smith. Like, this desire and obsession for them to win. Like, he's never letting go of this team until he, like, leaves the earth. He's made that decision. But then, like, when you're watching it, he's, like, saying how if he didn't come up with the money, like, he was going to check up out of here. So I'm like, to you, this is life or death. Like, this is everything to you. Like, we think you're overbearing, but to you, you're like, why would you not be overbearing? Like, this was my life goal. I mean, he wrote a thesis in college of how to do this exact thing. And I didn't know that. I was like, oh, you might actually be a mastermind here, Mr. Jerry Jones. I don't know. It's something about old people that I think I enjoy their honesty. He was so honest about some things he was lying about, but he'd be like, you know, my memory. And I was like, that's an old person saying to be like, now I don't know what you remember, but what I remember is this. But, like, it was cool. At the end, he's not trying to convince anyone of anything. He's like, I don't know what this proves. I'm just a flawed Jerry. And he just, like, laughs. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, Jerry Jones. Jerry.
One of one.
One of one. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. It's interesting that you brought up the thesis that he created in college, because I learned a lot about Lamar Hunt this weekend, aka the founder of the Chiefs and also the AFL. I was in Kansas City for the weekend with the Chiefs for the premiere of The Kingdom, which has been out for a little bit now. I think August 15th was the initial date that the first episode was dropped. But in that first episode, they talk a lot about Lamar Hunt and just his vision for the team and the vision for the future of the league. And he quite literally put everything on an American Airlines stationery, and it sits in the Chiefs Hall of Honors in the stadium. And it's actually really cool to see. So it's interesting to hear that Jerry Jones is doing something very similar back in the day, just like planning everything out. And look at where they are today. They got two great franchises. Can't lie about that. So
have to be a visionary. I think if it's anything I'm learning about the NFL and some of these owners, as much as we're hypercritical of them and we make a lot of comparisons to how they operate, some of these owners, this is their life. Like, they didn't just buy a team for a hobby and, like, you know, just to get rid. Like, some of them are living and breathing and sleeping this thing of an organization and wanting to see it thrive, not just from a money aspect, just like, I own this team. I want to see it win. And when you start to hear stories like that, it's like, oh, this is like your life. Like, this was one of your destinies, one of your purposes. Like, this, it was either this or nothing. And then it really puts it in perspective why certain things happen as they do, why owners sometimes act how they act. And it's like, to them, this isn't a hobby. Like, this isn't a collector's item to them. They're like, no, this matters to me. There's a pride level to it because, like, I'm giving it my all. So it's interesting. It just goes to show you have to have vision. You have to be completely delusional about whatever it is you're trying to do, because now these are the stories we talk about and everyone's like, what? Like Jerry did that, Hunt did that. It's like visionaries, real life visionaries.
Let's see what their work did for them today. Like I said, they got two great organizations in the league. So, like you said, it's all about having that vision, having that outlook, having that creativity. On that note, we have some outlook and creativity over here on Off the Record, because I saw some people copying what we're doing over here at OTR. We're not going to talk about it too much, but we are visionaries here at Off the Record. If you see any other sports shows streaming on Twitch, just remember we are the blueprint.
She wasn't. Bailey was not gonna let this go. She was not gonna let it go. She was not. That's hilarious. Whatever she said, I'm with that.
Thank you. Thanks for backing me up.
Simple
we stand 10 toes down behind each other over here. But yeah, I saw that today.
Any shots that flying? Hey, I'm cool with it. Any shots that flying, I'm out the side of the window busting too.
Hey, ride or die. Appreciate that.
Hey.
Appreciate that. On that note, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first segment of the night. Shilo Sanders. He was ejected from the game for throwing a punch at Zach Davidson, and then the next day he gets waived from the Buccaneers. Todd Boyles says throwing that punch was inexcusable. I want to know, do we think if Shilo didn't throw that punch, would he make it past these upcoming roster cutdowns? Or do you think he would have been on his way out?
I think he was on his way out anyway. I mean, maybe that's hard for some fans to accept, but he was an undrafted free agent. He was already fighting an uphill battle to make a roster. It's not impossible. We've seen it happen. We love those stories, but it's a numbers game. You're trying to go from 90 guys to 53 in a matter of a few days, a week. I don't think the punch was like, that's it, he's out the door. It's probably just one of those things you're like, okay, you just didn't help your case of making it a little bit more hard on us with this first wave of waving and cutting and things like that. Like, you need as many reps and as much visibility as you need for us to at least really have a conversation and make it harder on us. He just didn't make it harder on them. I mean, he just needed more things on tape. I want to say he only had 4 tackles in this entire preseason. It's not really a ton. It didn't surprise me. I don't think it's personal for him. He was already trying to build off something, but I think he's going to be okay in the long run. I think Tampa Bay spoke very highly of him. Todd Bowles still spoke very highly of him. The vets spoke very great of him. He's either going to be a practice squad player. Another team's going to pick him up. He's going to be okay, but development for him is going to look a little bit different.
And the Bucs did say that they want him to go to another team. And they're wishing the best for him. They specifically want him to go to another team in their division. Do we think that's realistic? Do we think we could see him potentially playing for one of those other squads?
Possibly. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know. Does chat know all the teams that are in that division?
Chat, do we know? Do we need a refresher? I think Bailey needs a refresher too. Realistically.
NFL divisions are tricky to me. You start thinking you think someone's in that division and they're in a whole.
They're not.
Like, how did that happen? I don't care. And if you sit here in the chat and you're like, stop it. We all get confused on those doggone divisions.
Yeah, no. I know AFC South just because the Colts are in the AFC South, and that's about it. Now, the rest of them couldn't really name them off the top of my head for you. But the Bucs are in the NFC South with the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints. It's those 4 teams. So with that being said, back to the question, do we think Shilo Sanders could end up in one of those other teams in the NFC South?
If I was the Saints, I would pick him up. Okay. I think for him right now, it's about fit, and it's also like, what can he bring? And if I'm the Saints, I feel like it doesn't hurt to have a guy like that, especially on practice squad, that can have a opportunity to build up to something as the year goes on, especially because we don't know how the Saints season is going to go. Like, it's just to be honest, we don't know. Like, that's not a team that I have great expectations for. So I would rather him go somewhere where, hey, you start balling out in this practice squad, you might start seeing things happen where all of a sudden you're there dressing out on game day and now you have an opportunity, or some, God forbid, injuries start to happen or things happen and they're like, hey, you've been performing really well. it's obvious that he needs to be with a fan base that I think will definitely embrace him. He has the personality for it. Obviously, he has the name as well. But like I said, Tampa Bay, the fans really like him. And they really are hoping that he somehow comes back. But if I was to go anywhere, if I were the Saints, I would call him.
Saints, you know what to do. The Bucs said that they want him still in the NFC South. You can make that happen. Do you think
Which is a great compliment?
Yeah, I agree. It was a statement to let him go, but at the same time to come back and say, hey, we do wish the best for you. We really want to see you somewhere else, thriving, succeeding. We would ideally love to see you again, face to face in our conference. It was a good compliment. It was a good compliment. Unfortunately, things ended the way that it ended for him. But like you said, he was probably out the door anyways, despite that punch being thrown. So, it's one of those things that, kind of sucks on his part. I'm curious to know what's going through his head. It's like, what if, if I didn't throw it,
yeah,
but still, what would my situation be? But I think he'll be fine regardless. He'll land on his feet. Do you think there's any other team outside of the Saints that he'd be a good fit for?
You know what? I oddly do believe the Steelers. I don't
Okay.
know why in the back of my head I feel that way. And maybe it's because I'm looking at his personality of how he plays. It's very physical. It's very aggressive, as we saw. He's not going to hesitate. He played like that in college. He fits kind of that motif that the Steelers have, which is this kind of nasty, aggressive defense. I could see him being such a great practice player. I feel like that's going to have to be his journey for a minute. It's just really performing on a practice squad, getting those reps, getting that quality, and coaches being able to say, oh, wow, like he has this to him. He's helping prepare a team, but he's also preparing himself. If I were the Steelers, I would be interested from a practice squad perspective, at least, to just see, like, what does he bring? What does this look like if we have him in this rotation of where we're seeing him daily and he's helping others? If I was Pittsburgh, I would highly, highly suggest. And from what I've read, a lot of Steelers fans want that. Like, they want him somewhere near this organization.
I could see him being good with Tomlin too. I feel like he needs a coach like that. So that's a good pairing. I like that a lot. And like you said, he needs to spend a little bit more time developing. He was a player that we never really expected to succeed. We knew that he was going to need that time to develop. So I think practice spot is a perfect landing spot for him, no matter what team he ultimately ends up on. If he does end up on another team this season, I think he needs to stay on a practice squad. Him making a 53-man roster, I don't feel like makes sense in my mind. But if another team sees that vision, they see that vision. I'm not going to be the one to argue that. On that note, switching over to some other news within the Buccaneers, they have cut their defensive lineman, Desmond Watson, who never practiced with the team while trying to lose weight from his 449-pound frame. I've talked about this once before on my own page. I thought it was really sad that the situation that the Bucs put him in. And I know some people are going to argue, he's a big guy. He needed to shed those pounds. It was a liability. They're doing this for his own health. You don't even let the guy practice. And he didn't have an issue at Florida. Why is he having an issue in Tampa Bay? I really want somebody to answer that question. Lachelle, what do you think?
It was kind of odd to me because you know what you essentially signed on to. Like, you knew what his weight was. Now, I have heard of certain linemen, things of that nature, having weight things in contracts. Like they need to always stay at this size, over, under, and like if not, there's penalties. I have heard about that for certain guys. To my knowledge, that's not the case here. Like, I don't know if that was in his rookie contract of things. So that's kind of odd to me. I guess I can understand them saying we need you to get to a certain weight to be playable, but I don't understand why him not practice. To me, the practicing would help him drop more weight.
That's what I've been saying. That's exactly what I've been saying. Is like if you watch clips from this preseason, from training camp, you'll see him making laps around the practice field. It's like, okay, you guys obviously want him to drop some pounds. You have a goal weight for him. You don't think him suiting up and playing some reps, getting in with the rest of the guys is going to I don't know, help him shed that weight as well.
Yeah.
Like walking's only going to do so much respectfully. If anything, I mean, I'm no scientist, I'm no dietitian, but I know that weight loss is really 80% food, 20% working out. So it's like your dietitian's really failed him more than anything.
Yeah.
If we're really trying to be honest with ourselves here, I don't think it was him that was the issue, especially if he's at training camp. It's a really controlled environment. And then just throw him in the mix with the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't make
walking
sense.
is not going to do it respectfully. I don't
Yeah.
know if like maybe just with like a bigger individual that those steps, the cardio is really like putting in the work, but I don't know. I feel like if he was out there getting reps, he would have been doing this.
It doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like a little bit of like bullying, like the kid at school, and you're like, go run laps. Like it's just kind of weird. Like this is a grown individual that you signed to play football. Like you already knew what his weight was, whatever the case may be. He's naturally gonna drop these pounds that you're wanting if he's actively practicing. And like you said, with a dietitian provided by the organization, like all these things can be a plan. But we might need to get him on the show because I want to ask him, like, were these conversations that you had in Indianapolis at the NFL Combine? Like, were these teams actively asking you, how comfortable do you feel playing at this weight? Do you think you could lose? Like, were you aware that this would be such a thing once you got to an organization and they're like, hey, no, you actually can't practice till you, like, were they very transparent with you about what this looked like?
Yeah, that's a great question. And from what I've seen, those conversations didn't happen. So but I mean, that's what I've seen. So it's like the reports could be different from what happened behind the scenes. So you're onto something. We might need to see Desmond on the show to understand his point of view, what was happening behind closed doors, because you're bringing up a very, very, very good question. You know what you signed up for with this guy. You knew what he could do. He was a beast at Florida. That was the other thing too. He had a lot of potential. And
that's the SEC. Like,
yeah,
that's a fast pace of football. Like,
yeah,
hardest conference you could play football in, essentially, as they say, very pro style ready. So I could put myself in his shoes. If I didn't expect that to be a problem and then all of a sudden I'm getting told I can't practice and I got to run laps, I would probably lose it. I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, y'all didn't say that. If you, like, I wasn't aware of that. Like, I didn't know I thought I would just naturally lose this weight anyway because I'm getting a dietitian by a pro NFL team that's serving me breakfast, lunch, and dinner and making a plan specifically for me. I thought naturally, it's like baby weight. Like, naturally, I thought it
was just going to come off. Yeah.
Yeah. And now y'all, like, we're acting like Vita Vea ain't big. He big. No offense. And we love him.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He big. Like, no offense. We love the line. We love y'all. But come on now. Like, Vita be struggling to get up off that ground sometimes. But we love him regardless.
I want to see how much he weighs. I'm just curious.
He's up, he up there.
He's up there.
He got to be like 380.
346.
Oh, I'm 40 pounds over. My bad, Vita. Jesus, hammer. When you look at him, I would think he was a little bit bigger sometimes.
I would think so too.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's up there. I don't know if there's any player that's maybe bigger than him, to be honest.
Have you seen people describe like being under the pile with him on top of it? Like, they say it's suffocating.
Oh, I would be scared for my life.
Like, Vita, and I would love to know how big Vita was coming out of college. Like, come on, man. Like,
let's see. We can answer that question right now.
Vita's he's hefty. Chad, y'all know he is.
Let's see. Coming out of college. Okay, I mean, no different. 347.
Somebody not telling the truth. That man ain't been 347 this entire time.
Hey, that's what I'm seeing.
Somebody, that internet, AI, I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way.
AI is a dangerous tool, and it is.
He still look a little hefty. I'm not shaming Vita. Like, I want to keep saying that we love Vita, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't know, Shilo, because it says coming out of high school he was 250.
So he gained weight.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. He gained 100 pounds in the span of 4 years at University of Washington, which is crazy. But I mean, he was a big guy.
If you saw Vita,
so I'm not surprised.
I mean, if you saw Vita, would you sit there? Okay, if you saw him, wouldn't you? If you didn't know he played football, would you be like, big dude?
Oh yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Would it make you want to be like, he should lose weight? Like, are we saying that about Vita? Are we like, you should lose weight? Not saying.
If we're talking from a non-athlete standpoint, if this was a regular guy walking down the street and I'm looking at you just as you are, no idea what your profession is, I would maybe question some of your lifestyle choices. Now, am I going to ever make suggestions about what people should or shouldn't do with their bodies? No, that's not my business. But that might cross my mind. That little thought.
I just
feel you eating that night? What are those 3 meals a day?
I feel like the organization, just a tad, is fat shaming. Just a little bit. I can understand if you feel he needs to hit a certain weight that you feel is playable, but the not practicing seems just a little childish to me. Like, at the end of the day, he's there to play football, not to run laps like a child at recess that just got punished. Like, okay, you want me to lose weight? That's fine. Let's come up with a plan. Okay, am I doing 3 a days? Once I'm done practicing, am I getting on the bike? Am I getting on the treadmill? Am I running laps after? Like, just give me a plan so we can hit this weight, or at least feel that it's manageable. Mm-hmm. Don't sit here and tell me I just can't practice. And then we see these videos, and like you said, it's sad. Like, you could tell he wants to play. Like, he's just like sitting there, like barely hitting the little bag. Like, what else? I'm running in circles. I'm not going to lose this weight in 5 minutes. I'm not going to lose this weight in 2 laps. I'm going to just be real with you. I'm not.
Right.
See, I would have sat there and said that I'm not going to lose it in 2 laps. I'm not going to lose it in 10. So all I'm doing is cardio. Like, he looks a little bit smaller to me in those videos. I'm like, you look all right to me. He was a little bit bigger at Florida.
Yeah. And I want to say when I initially saw reports, he had dropped like 30 pounds.
They playing with Desmond.
Potentially.
Let me playing with
Desmond. Check on that though. Desmond.
They playing with Big Des. I don't like it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It's
I don't like it.
Okay, I was a little off. I think he was 30 was a bit much. He was 464 when he came in. He was 449 when he left.
That's a good amount of weight.
Yeah. I mean, but to be what, 464 to be 16 pounds down, basically?
It's pretty good, though.
That's good. I mean, and that's a short span of time. We also have to be realistic about this time frame too, because he's only in training camp for a month, right?
Yeah, that's not enough time just to lose weight like that.
Yeah, we're talking end of July into mid-August. That's not 16 pounds in 4 weeks is faster than most people should be losing weight anyways.
Right.
It's normal to lose about a pound or 2 a week. You're talking he's losing 4. And then you're expecting him to have lost more in the span of those 4 weeks. I feel like that was just a dummy mission for him, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like a waste of time.
Yeah.
I would have been upset.
I would have been too. I really hope that he ends up on another team. I hope that some other team can accept him for the size that he is. Because I think even at his size, it would make him the heaviest player in the NFL. But that's a beast of a guy right there. You could do a lot with him.
Big dude.
Do a lot with him. Imagine stopping the tush push with that man.
Telling you, Vita Vea.
I think there's hope and potential for Desmond Watson. We definitely need to get him on this show because there's a lot of unanswered
I need his perspective.
There.
Yeah, because did you know?
Questions. Right. We need to figure out more. Until then, we're going to go ahead and move on to, I feel like the dead horse that we keep beating, but it's a topic of conversation.
Not the cowboy.
It's a topic of conversation that we can't escape. Every week. I know. I'm sorry, Lachelle. I had to do it to you. But This week's kind of interesting. It's about Micah Parsons again. No surprise, no surprise. In the Cowboys' final preseason game, Micah Parsons, who is still waiting on a new deal with the Cowboys, was seen casually napping on the medical table during the second half. He was also the only player not to wear a jersey during the game. As a result, head coach said he will meet with Parsons to discuss his behavior. Lachelle, I want to know, what message does this send to the Cowboys? And at this point, do we feel like he's acting a little childish?
I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. And I think he thinks because he's not completely absent from the team that this is good leadership, even though he's clearly frustrated, even though he clearly can't hide it either. I think the best thing that Micah Parsons could have done is remove himself from the team to make this a real holdout. Like, this hold-in concept is kind of illogical in so many ways. You're around this team, you're trying to feel like you're still there for the guys, but then like these are the conversations we're having because you are clearly upset. That's fine. You have every right to be upset. This is a mess that was really unnecessary. You feel disrespected. Your agent feels disrespected. You're in this media war with your boss, essentially. But it's like, okay, how many times are you going to go sit in the corner? Like, we know you're upset. We know you're mad. At a certain point, it's like, okay, just go home and see how this plays out. See what happens. I commend that he's trying, but it starts to become a little bit annoying when it's like, okay, like you're kind of asleep on this trainer's table. He says that he wasn't asleep. It was just like one little moment that he wouldn't disrespect the game like that. But it's also like we see the video of him walking in the tunnel eating nachos and they're like, hey, the Falcons. And he's like, call them. You know, like I get it. He's trying to play this game that is a mess. But it's like, at this point, you're better off just going home. If you feel like it's not going anywhere, see what happens. If they start losing games without you, that contract is coming with speed. To me, he doesn't really have as much leverage until we see if they start losing. But the just being there and kind of the pouting, it was cool the first time. We got it the second time. It's now like, okay, like enough is enough.
So are you suggesting he sits out for the start of the season?
Yes. I mean, after watching The Gambler and His Cowboy, Emmitt Smith did the same thing. He went home to Florida. They lost 2 games. Then Haley almost threw a helmet at Jerry Jones in the locker room. Next day, Emmitt Smith up in there coming to Dallas signing a new contract. Like, and Emmitt Smith specifically says, the leverage that I had is that they went 0-2 without me. I was a direct cause of the loss. Micah Parsons might have to do the same thing. If you really believe in what you're doing, you might got to sit there and say, all right, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, this is a respect thing now. But I think Jerry said, we still got him for 2 more years. He doesn't care. That's the problem. You're messing with someone who doesn't care. I would sit there and be like, cool, let's see who care less.
That's when things get so messy. That's just the one overarching question is like, do we really want it to get to that point? Realistically, no, I don't think anybody does, but I don't know. That's just, you're playing with fire when you start asking those questions, when you start talking that talk.
It's a fire that you have to choose. Like, okay, if you were his teammate, would you be annoyed if you're seeing all this? You know he is worth what he's asking for. You don't have a problem with what he's asking for. You get it. I think Dak said that. He was like, I think it's going to get done. I've been in that situation. I trust it. But if you're his teammate, after everything, the sleeping on the table, the nachos, you sad when we coming off the elevator, at some point, you don't think you're going to sit there and be like, hey, it's cool if you just stay home till we figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, because it's distracting at the end of the day. It's what it's becoming now, because we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
The focus isn't on the rest of the team. It's not on anything else with the Cowboys right now. It is about Jerry and Micah and this deal. So I would 100% be that guy if I were on the team. Hey, why don't you just go home? Because yeah, it's getting to the point where it's taking away from the real mission of the season. So I understand where you're coming from. I did see that Jerry Jones said that about 60 days ago, he offered Parsons more money than any non-quarterback has gotten, which would have made Parsons the highest guaranteed player other than a quarterback in the NFL. Micah said it's not about the money anymore. It's about more than the money, matter of fact. Did you see this? You know what I'm talking about?
I did, and words are interesting.
Okay.
And what makes this argument hard is because I think we all were under the notion that Jerry was lowballing him, that he wasn't giving him the money he wants. Then you hear Jerry say what he says, and as a human, you're going to say, well, Jerry says a lot. Can I really believe this? But his response to be, it's not about the money. So it's like, oh, wait, so he did offer you that much. That was a real contract. And then it's like, well, it's not about that. Okay. Respectfully, you have that right to feel that way. But again, we were all, I believe, at least me, maybe I'm speaking just for me, chat. We all thought like, oh, he's lowballing him. He's not giving him the money that because that was a big conversation with Dak. He just didn't want to give him the money. Like he was asking for a lot and he just was like, that's a lot of money. So we're all assuming the same thing. Like, oh, he must be asking for a ton of money. And when we hear Micah say, I'm seeing my peers get paid, I'm seeing this. So we all thought, oh, he's mad about the price. Rightfully so. That's a lot of the talk for a lot of guys is the price or the years of a contract. So to hear Jerry say what it kind of was looking like, it's like, oh, well, you were trying to pay him. But then for him to say it's not about the money, it's like, okay, so what is it about?
What's it about? Exactly. That's the question that I have. It's like, okay, the money is off the table in terms of this conversation, apparently. So, not in the literal sense, but what could it be about at this point? Is your perspective changing? Do you have a new goal in mind? Is there something that we're not seeing that you've, talked about behind the scenes with your team, your close group, your family, your friends? Like, what are those conversations looking like now? Because we were all, like you said, let's believe one thing, but then we're hearing something different now that's making us ask some questions about what your intentions are. With that being said, do you think this was a dumb move by his team, or do you think it's smart of him to continue pushing if it is about something that's greater than the money?
I think his team underestimated the lengths that Jerry Jones would go through. And I think that's a fair, maybe, underestimation. I don't know if they thought he would do this because I think it's been known that Jerry Jones really loves Micah Parsons. Like even in the doc, he's like hugging him saying, I love you. You couldn't do more. I couldn't ask you for more. And like you could tell it seems like there was some relationship of at least value of gratitude. So I think maybe they thought, man, he loves him so much, there's no way that this is going to prolong. But every relationship changes once you start talking about money. You're great until you start talking about money. Now I got to tell you everything that you haven't done. And you got to be okay with that. So I don't want to say that I think his agent, I know David Mulligeta, I mean, he's known for big deals. He did, the Deshaun Watson deal. He's done these huge, I want to say, in the last year, $1 billion in deals.
Yeah, he's one of the top NFL agents.
Yeah, like he's a shark. So like, I can't be mad at him. He's doing what he's getting paid to do. I'm here to give my guy money and stability. So I need years on a contract and we need the money. But now if you're saying it's not about the money, like you said, it's like, okay, well, what is this about then? Because you're not telling us it's about the years. You're not is it just something that you kind of want to prove to Jerry? Like it raises a lot of questions. I don't think either one is the victim. I think it's more of like, well, what is it that you both want? And it's obvious that Jerry's at the point where I don't think he takes this personal. I think he's like, okay, I've been here, done this. I've negotiated money with Emmitt Smith. I've negotiated money with Deontay. I've done this. I know what it looks like. I don't really care. Like, it is what it is. I don't think he has an attachment to this feud. To him, it's like, okay, that happens. I think Micah is like, oh, this feels really personal. And I think Jerry's like, how can you think it's personal? Like, I've done this before. I've done it with people who have actually won me a Super Bowl before. And I think they're both seeing it differently. Because then you have Jerry on Michael Irvin's podcast, and he's like, Mike, just bring him over the house. We'll talk. Us three. This isn't for agents. And Michael Irvin's just like, okay, Jerry. Like, what is this about? Like, I think Jerry's just like, it's no way you're upset like this. I thought we both understood what this is. And Micah's like, absolutely not. I feel away. Like, it's just not working.
No. It's not, unfortunately. Do you think that, going back to the question of what is his point now, if it's not about the money, what is it? Do you think that we as fans deserve that explanation, or do you think it's right that he keeps that to himself?
I think some fans are very simple-minded. You want to see him out there. If he's out there for week 1, all is absolved. I don't know if anyone cares about the details unless we get 5 years down the road. Then he sits down and explains what happens. But I guess if I was in his shoes, if the deal is done and I sign on the dotted line, I'm just continuing to be a distraction if I start to go in the details. Because now the season's going. I've signed. I'm putting on this helmet. And it's one of those things, like I say about a lot of stuff. Either you're going to tell me what it all is about now, or you just going to have to leave it on the playground. Because I'm not going to care to hear about it once the season starts. Like, you have now. When you did that notes post, I was locked in. You were telling us what happened. It was a deal done at the house that you didn't think was a deal being done. Okay. But if you sign on that dotted line, we're done. No more. No more. You go out there and play. Unless something else happens, then maybe we could talk about it some more. But I think you get fatigue as a fan where it's like, either you're going to play or you're not, or he's going to give you the money or he's not. But somebody has to make a decision here. And you just got to stand by it. And as a fan, we'll choose what we believe is okay to us.
That's fair. Chat, I want y'all to chime in. We haven't heard from y'all tonight. Chat, we need some activity. Let us know what you think about the situation. Let us know what you think about some of the other topics that we've discussed. On that note, we are going to talk about some guys who are getting paid, because it was a big day for Terry McLaurin and Trey Hendrickson, just hours after the Commanders and Terry McLaurin ended their summer-long standoff. The Bengals and Trey Hendrickson are now doing the same. Going back to Mr. Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys, all eyes are turning to them. Should these moves give Parsons the hope that holding out will too work in his favor?
Maybe a little bit, but all the situations are so different. Like Trey Hendrickson, he wanted more years on his deal, and that's a 1-year deal he has. So he still kind of didn't get everything he wanted, but he got the money. Like, I want to say, 1 year, $30 million, which is like a $14 million pay raise that he is getting.
Yeah.
So it's like he's giving up something essentially too. Like, he doesn't have the stability that he wanted. Now he'll hit free agency after the season. That's a whole nother thing he has to think about now. You know, Terry McLaurin, wide receiver, so important to this up and coming young quarterback who goes and says, we're going to get the deal done. I got to have him here. So the organization obviously is like, we're not going to make our young star upset. He says he needs him. He needs him. Let's give him the money. And Terry got paid. He truly got what he wanted. He won. He won. Like, low key, you might got to slide Jaden a quick little 100,000 or something. Cause like the endorsement kind of sped some things up. Cause he was very much like definitive. He will be here. Now he gets the money that he was wanting when everybody was like, how dare you ask for this? And now he laughing to the bank like, okay, well, it worked. But we also didn't see Terry pouting and eating nachos and sitting he was there at some camps, you know, he was talking to people. But other than that, that was it. Trey Hendrickson, same thing. He's on the sideline for preseason, but it's not the extra. He's telling the media how he feels. But again, he didn't get the years, but he got the money. At a certain point, it looks like everyone had to take some type of compromise, but you also have to choose what stand you're going to take. And again, if Micah's going to take a stand, you need to take a stand.
That's fair. Very different situations. We have some trade-offs as well. With that being said, and I feel like I know the answer to this question based on the conversations we've already had about Jerry Jones, do we think this puts any pressure? When I say this, the Commanders settling things with Terry and the Bengals settling things with Trey, do we think that puts pressure on Jerry Jones to settle things with Micah? Or do you think that it's just going to be a waiting game?
I just truly think he doesn't care. I sincerely think he doesn't measure what the Cowboys do to anyone else. Because I think in his mind, he's like, well, the Commanders ain't won no Super Bowl recently either. He looking like Bengals ain't been back in a while either. Like I think he's like, I'm measuring this to teams that haven't won recently either. Like, it kind of is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if Jerry feels pressure. I think he's more like, well, they caved. Like they gave that money up. Like,
More or less looking at them like they stupid.
it's like, well, like, you know, maybe that 1-year deal is where he's like, oh, that was kind of smart. Like you give it up on the front end and then, you know, but I think Jerry's just like he said, we still got him for this amount of years. He's making it clear the man can't do nothing without me. He can't be traded without me. He can't be paid without me. Whatever he decides is for him to choose. But the cards, he holds them. And that's a tough battle to be in with somebody who is making it very clear he will not be bullied. But I do believe he's literally going to get paid in the midnight hour, like 24 hours before the game. And then it's like Jerry's going to be in the box just smiling. It's like, this was so absurd.
I'm going to put my prediction down for that being true or not true. And chat, if anybody else wants to place a bet on that, you can send $20 to my Cash App at BAILA. What am I talking? BAILJACK. I can't spell. We're placing wagers on if that is true or not. Lachelle, what you got? $40 on it?
Yeah, I put 25. I ain't no real gambler.
He said, I'll put 25.
I put 25. Like, no, I feel like he's okay. If the bet is, will Micah Parsons play in week 1? Yes, I put 25 on it.
Okay. We'll see. We will see. If anyone wants to get on this bet, like I said, you can Cash at me, BAIL. Jeez, I keep wanting to spell my full
You don't
name.
want the money. You don't want the money for real.
I just can't spell right now, guys. That's my issue. I keep wanting to say my full name. BAILJACK is my Cash App. You know what? Probably can't say that on Twitch. I feel like that's actually probably against their... Can you promote your... We're not going to ask any more questions. We're just going to move on because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get banned tonight. We were already having technical issues last week. I'm not trying to put us in another difficult situation. But I feel like you cannot promote Venmos or Cash Apps or Zells or anything of that nature on Twitch. I don't know.
I think maybe you can. Maybe you can. I've watched some lives on other platforms of streamers that were multi-streaming on different platforms at the same time. Yeah. And like it was like Call of Duty streams. Like it would be like how many kills can you get in a Call of Duty? And it's like people, they would say their Cash App, I think.
They would place bets?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay, well then my Cash App is BAILJACK. Yeah, that we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there. We're gonna go ahead and transition to a little bit of college football. It is that time of the year, folks. It is the best time of the year. NFL season's almost back. College football is kicking off this weekend. We've got games quite literally all weekend. We're gonna see some college football on Sunday and Monday. I'm excited. Lachelle's excited. Chat, I hope you're equally as excited. We've got some pretty big matchups this weekend. And the first we're going to talk about is Clemson LSU. To kick off week 1, we will see LSU face the Clemson Tigers at Clemson. LSU is 0-5 in season openers, which is tied for the longest streak in school history. Lachelle, chat, what's it really going to take for LSU to finally snap that streak?
I think it's going to happen this year, actually. Surprisingly, I'm not an LSU fan. So this is how I know I really mean it. I have LSU beating Clemson by at least 10.
Wow.
At least 10. I think offensively, people are going to be very shocked at how well they're going to move the football. I think they're equally going to be a little bit more shocked on how better their defense is now. Their defense has not been good in a long time. I mean, people argue that defense is the reason Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors really couldn't make a push like they really should have. This might be the year that Brian Kelly has now kind of transformed this weakness that could be at least somewhat of a strength. So yes, chat, I have LSU beating Clemson, and I'm a big Cade Klubnik fan. I think he's really good. But something in me is saying everyone's going to watch the game Saturday and be like, oh, wow, this LSU team is actually really good.
That's a statement because Clemson is favored to win this game.
They're a good team. Like, that's what's crazy.
Hey, I respect your take. I respect your take.
I don't know if I believe it. That's why I'm upset that I'm saying it. Because I'm like, something in me it's very rare because I really don't trust LSU at all. Like, I don't place money on them. Like, never. But I'm sitting there like, maybe I'm a believer that you guys are going to go in there, shock the world, and then you're going to see LSU for the Natty for like 3 weeks, or at least 2 until they go play Florida, and no telling what happens.
Just face the rest of those SEC teams and you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think this is going to be a split game. I don't know if I want to choose a side right now. I like what you said about LSU. I think what makes this game special compared to some of the other games that we're seeing in just the season in general is that we're seeing 2 returning starters, not just 2 returning quarterbacks, 2 returning starters. Whereas a lot of the teams that we are talking about that are in some of the conversations with this college football season are new either to the school or they're, new to the starting job. So the experience that these quarterbacks, the experience and the ability that both of these quarterbacks have, it puts pretty high expectations out there. And that's what's making me kind of 50-50 right now. I don't know which side I want to go on. And I think I'm going to maintain that stance until I watch the game, and then I'll be a fair weather fan, and I'll choose who I want to root for in the moment.
Naturally, that would be me. That's why I'm upset that I feel this way. I've watched too many LSU clips. I think I'm jaded.
Maybe it's the Louisiana in you.
It's crazy. I'm really not an LSU fan. Like, I don't trust them. I've seen so much. But I think you made a good point about the quarterbacks. I mean, Klubnik and Garrett are both guys that a lot of NFL scouts like. And they're supposed to be kind of this top 10 kind of pick situation with both of them. So, like, they're proving a lot, too, in this season opener for their own draft stock. I mean, you hear Garrett Nussmeier say, like, he could have left last year. He decided to come back. Like, a lot of scouts wanted him last year, which I was shocked about. I was iffy on him. So, to him, it's kind of like, I need to prove that I am this guy. I am what I came back for. I mean, Klubnik, too. It's like, you're trying to prove that this is how you're going to start the season, and this is how scouts, that's going to be the conversation. Come Monday, we're going to be talking about, did Garrett Nussmeier play really well, or did he play really bad? Did Klubnik play better than him, or did he play really bad? Like, that's the talk until we get to week 2, and then it's like, okay, next thing. But it's like you said, it's like, this is more of a conversation even for these 2 guys, not necessarily just the teams. It's like, man, these are returning starters, and like, you kind of got to plant your flag in the sand very soon against 2 good teams that this matters. Like, this loss could haunt you down the road. This means a lot, and I think they both know that. But I wonder if I think you get it because you're like, I'm gonna just be in the middle. It's like trying to pick who's gonna win a fight. You're like, man, I don't really know how this could go. Like, this could go either way, and I don't really care to be right or wrong.
Like, yeah, I hold no dog in this fight. Yeah, I hold no dog in this fight. So whatever happens. I'll be sitting there watching with my eyes glued to the TV no matter what. But like I said, I have no dog in this fight. I just want to see a good football at the end of the day. What everybody says, I just want to see a good game. I just want to see a good game. And we know we're going to get that out of these 2 teams. It'll be one to watch for sure. Another one to watch, my Buckeyes, OSU, we'll see them play Texas. Number 1 ranked Texas versus number 3 ranked OSU. I don't know how that happened. Pause, moment of silence for this one, because RIP our number 1 ranking to start the season. I do not get that. I do not get that in the slightest. We've already talked about that, so I'm not going to beat another dead horse. But I do want to at least call attention to that. It's besides the point. Arch Manning is a Heisman favorite this year. What do we expect to see from him in this season opener?
I made a touchdown prediction. He's going to have 2 touchdowns, and he's probably going to have either 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Over under on yards, passing yards, I'm going to give him over 150 passing yards. He's going to play good. I think I don't like to put too much expectation on Arch because I am realistic that it takes time. He's playing in a tough conference. You are now at the helm of Texas football. All their hopes and dreams are on you. You just waited essentially 2 years for this. That doesn't mean you're going to come out there and be the best thing in the world, but you also could be extremely prepared for the moment. And I believe he wants to be good. And I think he knows that he could be good. I think they trust that he could be good. I think this is his coming out. I don't think he's going to play bad. I'm not going to sit there and say he's going to go 300 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. That would be insane if he does that. Again, could happen, but I think he's going to go out there, try his best to win that game, play pretty good to where everyone's going to say, okay, he could do that. I mean, it's a great first week. This is, if you want anything better, you go beat this team. They just won a national championship. You go beat this team. That everything takes care of itself after that. I think Arch is going to play good. I don't like the Heisman predictions because it's just like he hasn't started consistently in a season. But this is the time. If he plays bad, though, he's not going to hear the end of it.
No, absolutely. I would hate to see them beat the Buckeyes. That's not what I want this outcome to be, but I do think it would put him in a very different conversation, even though he is in a very different conversation than a lot of other quarterbacks in college football right now. It would definitely separate him. It will be an interesting weekend for him, especially considering this game is in the Shoe. The Shoe is not a easy stadium to play in. So, we'll see what the outcome will be. With that being said, what are your predictions? Ohio State or Texas? Choose wisely.
I have Texas.
Boo. Bad answer. That was the wrong answer.
I don't trust y'all's quarterback. Do you trust him?
No, I understand that. I haven't seen enough of him. I mean, obviously, I don't think enough people have seen enough of him. We've seen Will Howard for the amount of time that we have.
I don't like it. I don't have enough film.
I agree with that. I'm always gonna. This is where I put my realist hat on, Lachelle, because even though I clown you a second ago for choosing Texas and saying that SU was the right answer, I have my moments where I do doubt Ohio State, and this is one of those where I think I might doubt them a little bit more than I want. Chat, I want you to chime in here, but this season might not be what Buckeyes want it to be. I really don't. No. I really don't. I don't think it's good.
The blood was shed last year.
It was. I mean, we lost 14 draft picks from last year's championship.
It's a lot.
Team. It's a lot. So realistically, like I said, put the realist hat on. Let's put the fan hat aside for a second. Do I think this season is going to be what Ohio State wants it to be? Probably not. Do I think that they're beating Texas? I don't know. I'm going to be optimistic and say that it is a yes. It's a home game for them, at the end of the day. But there's so many times where they have just completely folded under pressure and just not met my expectations. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is another one of those weekends. I want to be so wrong about that. I want to be so wrong.
You might be, though. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's college football. You never know. Okay. Well, we're split household here. Half of OTR says Texas, half of OTR says OSU. Chat, we need to even this out.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know
what you're thinking.
Or do we have OSU?
Yeah, we need y'all's predictions. Please drop them in the chat. Moving on to a team that we really do not talk about when it comes to the college football conversation. That's UNC. On Monday, TCU goes to North Carolina for a game that would barely register on the radar in most years, but this is Bill Belichick's UNC debut. With that being said, we've seen a little bit of conversation from TCU's head coach. He's talked about having to watch a lot of the old Patriots film and study their plan. Do you feel like teams have to prepare differently to face UNC? Or do you think that was an over-exaggeration?
An over-exaggeration. What the heck are you watching Patriots film for on guys that are college kids? That Tom Brady ain't over there.
You know what? But the funny thing is, he said specifically it was the 2020 offense that he was watching. Now, I don't know what about that year really stood out to him, but that is what he said. He woke up from his sleep and he said that 2020 Patriots offense, we have to study that. I don't know, Lachelle. The face you're making is the question that's going through my head.
I guess it sounds good. It's a nice sound bite.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on. Do you think, I mean, sure, he could run certain things from that offense, but like we're talking about a pro style playbook compared to college kids. Now, again, he could. But like
Good.
now someone's going to ask Bill after the game, did you run any play from like 2020 in that offense? Bill is going to sit there and be like, no. Why would I do that?
Because the TCU
Or
coach.
he's going to sit there and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
we actually
off.
did. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a Bill Belichick fan football wise, but I think we're overhyping the UNC thing just a tad because I think Bill is happy about the job. It's going to take them losing a few games to start this season, and that man is going to revert back to the Bill that we all know. It's going to get ugly real fast because he's going to realize, oh, these are children. Like, these aren't grown men that are, accountable to be they're children.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trust an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you're making.
Yeah.
Or they could prove me wrong.
Yeah. Very old school. Very, very old school. So
yeah.
We'll see how that season pans out. It's definitely going to be a hot button topic. I will be watching the game. I'm sure chat, y'all will be watching the game as well. It's going to be one for the Bucs. Like I said, this is a team that we typically would not be paying attention to when it comes to the college football season. Now, college basketball season, we've been talking UNC all day. But nowadays, yeah, with football, who knows? Hey, UNC could turn into a football school depending on how things go this year.
Stop it. Bill gonna go out there and he gonna start winning. If Bill loses, I'm gonna predict it now. First 5 games, Bill is going either 2-3 or 1-4.
Dang.
I don't even know their schedule, and that's just my prediction.
I bet you it's nothing crazy. Let's see though. Just validate your predictions. After TCU, they play Charlotte, and then they play Richmond, and then UCF, and then Clemson.
They're not beating Clemson.
No, absolutely not.
Richmond might surprise them.
Really?
I always have to remind myself that anything can happen on a Saturday. You wake up and all of a sudden you're getting an alert that upset alert has happened. And you're like, now how the heck did this happen?
Yeah.
TCU could beat them though. That's what's crazy. I'm like, you have coach getting woken up in the middle of the night to go watch them. This is absurd. I love when they add stories to make the lore. I appreciate and I believe him. I don't think he's lying, but it's like, what are we going to do with that information? If I'm Bill, I'm going to be like, okay. I don't know. It's going to take a few games. Everyone's going to be asked, how did it feel coaching against a legendary coach like Bill? Somebody's going to have to put the flag in the sand and say, it's just Bill.
Right.
He's just Bill.
Well, it's funny too, because this TCU coach, I guess 2 years ago, the season opener for them was against Colorado, which would have been the first year that Deion was coaching. So this isn't the first time that he's been put in a position where he has to face a big name head coach, right? Yeah. So I think going into now year 2 of basically doing this, he's thinking through it, like I said, maybe a little differently than most would.
Yeah.
Now, waking up in the middle of the night to the 2020 Patriots offense being on your mind, that's real different. I'm not going to ask too many more questions about that one, but TCU might have a shot the way that this coach is cooking, the way that he's had to cook in the past. So who knows? Like you said, it's Facts. A Saturday. In this case, it's a Monday. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Another team that we're looking at this weekend is University. I almost committed a party foul. It's that school up north. I almost said their full name. Excuse me. My bad, guys. Ohio State and me needed to come back out. Okay. That School of North kicks off their season against New Mexico. More importantly, we'll get to see true freshman Bryce Underwood start for the Wolverines. It's already being said that he, quote, does everything like a pro, and that, quote, nobody's seen a freshman like him. Lachelle, chat, is it too early to be making these claims about Bryce, or is he really the real deal?
It's too early, but he is going to be good. I will say that. It's way too early to say, like, you've never seen a freshman like him. We've heard that about a ton of people before. Like, that's nothing new. Everyone who's a 5-star, number 1 overall pick thinks they're a freshman that they have never seen in this entire universe. That's fine to have that, confidence, and they speak highly of him. He is going to be good. I don't know if freshman year will be like the wow, and it could be, because it is a quarterback position. I'm very just logical about it and realistic with some of this progression that it takes. But he is special. When you watch a lot of his stuff, it's like, wow, like you have it. It just, now we need to see it in a college football setting where you're playing against grown men, not children who are 16, 17 years old, and you are the superior athlete. There are going to be some guys that can run with you, hit you harder, cover you. Everything's going to be sped up. But I do believe he is going to be really good by the end of the year, for sure. Once he gets those reps going through like week 3, week 4, I think he's going to find a rhythm very fast of like, oh, this is actually a little bit easier than I anticipated. But don't be alarmed if he throws a pick first game, second game, because that might happen. A fumble here, you running for your life here. It might happen, but that's why you can't make these claims, because then if those things do happen, everyone's going to ostracize those faults instead of like, oh, he's a freshman that's never played. Like, this makes sense. So it's like, you kind of can't put all that pressure on yourself. So I won't take the bait. He's going to be good, but superstar, just best thing we've ever seen since sliced bread, not yet. But Jeremiah Smith was exactly that last year. So who am I? Ryan Williams was exactly that too, and he was underage.
Yeah,
the sky is the limit.
17 out there balling.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe so. Yeah. Maybe Bryce is like, I saw them do it. Why can't I? But this is quarterback. Those are receivers. A little bit different.
Very different. Very different. What do you think the ceiling is for Bryce?
Ooh. I mean, if he can put it all together, if I'm looking at the archetype, he could be a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, when you're looking at guys like a Jaden Daniels, what won him the Heisman was being able to throw the football, being able to run the football. Bryce can do exactly that. He can run, he can throw. He has this thing to how he spins the football that I think is really impressive. The ceiling is there. The ceiling is there for the highest of awards that he can win. It just, can you put it all together? That is a hard thing to do. It takes time. Same thing happened with Jaden Daniels. A lot of people forget. Before that Heisman year, a lot of people wanted to ship him out. They didn't want him at LSU anymore. I don't know why fans have amnesia about that, but a lot of people weren't fans of Jaden Daniels that year before the Heisman. It was a lot of times of like, what is he doing? I don't think he's it. He returns to LSU and everyone's like, oh my gosh, why are you back? Now everyone's like, oh, we love him. Like, he won the Heisman, but he went through a growing pain of like, I don't think you're it. That could happen for Bryce, but I think if I'm looking at the archetype of quarterback, he has all the intangibles. I mean, when we're talking about Heisman guys who could potentially win it, we're talking about guys who can run and throw. Same with Arch. Are we talking about Arch if he couldn't run? Probably not. Like, these are athletic guys who are now kind of starting this career of themselves. So I have high expectations for Bryce. I mean, I don't think anyone gives you that much money if they're not expecting you to be the guy.
That's so true. He got paid. That man got paid.
Life-changing. This man was on a podcast saying Michigan doesn't develop quarterbacks. And then flips, because he said it was a business decision. He said it was business. Tom Brady call you and they open in the bag to give you, I don't even know how much he got, but I heard it was like reported like 15 mil plus.
I'm seeing 12.5. Yeah.
That's a bag.
That's a lot.
For an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah. That's a business decision right there. No, big business. And
I know they have incentives. Like, they have to have incentives. Like, oh, if you do this many yards in a season, you win this award. We're looking at real contract money. So I'm sure he's like, Heisman, like, freshman of the year, like, heck yeah, like, you got 3 years to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at some point, unless it just a 180 and he's bad, it would be hard for me to believe that. I mean, they're behind him. They're endorsing that he is as advertised.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. We'll see. That school up north, they be doing something different up there.
A doggone school up north, man.
Sign stealing and all.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't do that. That's what they say.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
They say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I've never understood that, but that's what people say, chat. That's what they be saying. Now, Lachelle doesn't do that, but they say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Now,
that's the word on the street.
Did we all not cheat in school when we didn't study? I mean, that's trying. We tried.
I can't say I ever looked over any kid's shoulder.
I ain't look over nobody's shoulder. I wrote it on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. Maybe you use the kick system and it's 1 for A, 2 for B.
I 100% have cheated in middle school, high school, and I was valedictorian. But I didn't cheat senior year. I was good senior year. But freshman year, for sure. Who didn't cheat in like an algebra class? Like
algebra is easy. Come on now.
I was over there writing the formulas for what I needed to know. And I'm like, okay, this is it. Chad, I don't care. Y'all can sit there and act like y'all just such mathematicians and y'all know everything. Stop it. Everybody struggled at some point in that doggone math class. Unless you just love math. Do you love math? Are you really good at math, Bailey?
I mean, yeah.
You're not a part of us then. You're not a part. Us people who aren't good at math.
I could do some calculations. I'm good with.
I was writing the formulas. The trick was to put it in your calculator in the fold of the cover.
The notes. Oh,
so when you slide it down, come on now, chat. Real ones knew how to cheat. Real ones know how to. And the notes. The notes is true. Once you got that real calculator. Yeah, like you start to put
the ones, those scientific calculators that they require you to get after like 8th grade.
Yeah, them things were huge. Like that was such an unnecessary calculator.
We really could just have used iPhones at that point.
Honestly,
I don't know what. Yeah, we can go into this for hours.
Y'all know.
Yeah, y'all understand it, chat. Lachelle, I'm gonna pass it over to you because it's our favorite segment of the night. And we're back. We're back to the hotline.
Y'all actually gonna call us? Now listen, we didn't do the poll, so y'all had a break. Call us, all right? The hotline is open. Here's the number. It's gonna be in the chat too. It's on the screen, okay? Get your phone. Dial 312, okay? 312 626 6799. Okay? You do that, let it ring for a minute. It's going to say enter a code. All right. Remember, it's on the screen too, but I'm about to tell you. 885-4089-5929 and hit that pound sign. And you are going to be taken to a Zoom call. Don't think you're calling the wrong thing. You're calling the Zoom. Remember, on the screen. Just told you. If you need it again, chat, tell me. Please.
It looks like we have a caller. All right, caller number 1. Who do we have on the line?
Hi, guys. This is Louie. I love listening to your show. I've been listening since day 1. I love tuning in every week. So I have a good hot take that you guys haven't talked about yet, but you brought up Bill Belichick, and we got to talk about this girl, Jordan Hudson, the girlfriend of Bill Belichick. Y'all got to have an opinion on her because I'm telling you right now, I'm weirded out by this. I don't think this is normal. Like this girl.
You're upset.
I don't think this is great.
It's interesting.
Like that 60 Minutes interview, you got to admit, was it 60 Minutes or CBS Sunday Morning? That was just weird.
Yeah, where she was kind of declining certain questions for him, stepping in, saying
she was watching the monitor.
That.
Like she was watching the interview.
She's very involved. She's very involved. She's very young. I think I'm never going to shame an age gap, but I do kind of question. I at least think about it from my perspective. I'm 25. I think she's 24, if not maybe a little younger.
Yeah, she's 24.
I don't ever see a world where that would be any type of fun.
Fun for them. They're having a time. Bill is happy.
Bill's happy.
Hey, Bill is happy. Bill said, y'all not going to stop my fun, okay? He love her. I know that's right. Yeah,
Michelle, Bill is 73 years old. I don't even know if Bill knows what's going on.
Listen, Bill, we're not used to seeing Bill in this situation like this. It makes you wonder. I'll say that. It makes me wonder. I think she was hired on the staff, wasn't she? And then I think, didn't she like step down after the conversation
did step back
happened? And like, yeah. I haven't seen her in a while, actually, to be quite frankly honest. So.
Very out of the spotlight. Louis, to your point, she was a very big part of the conversation for a long time, and we really haven't heard much about her or from her in a while. So I think that is maybe
that's good.
part that I would emphasize more than anything. Her involvement in UNC football was odd to me. I think as somebody that has zero football background, fresh out of school, I don't know what she was doing prior, and I don't know whatever her job was with UNC, if they correlated to whatever experience she's previously had. But it's almost nepotism without being nepotism. I don't know what you would call that. Favoritism, I guess. But
pretty much.
Yeah, it was odd that she was that involved, that heavily involved. So nice to see her take a step back from that. Just be a wag. Yeah. There's no issue.
They had a conversation.
Yeah.
They had a conversation, and they probably were like, okay, like, let's tone it back a little bit. Like, let's keep what we do private instead of kind of a spectacle. Because then, like, he was trying to promote his book, and then it turned into talking about that and then everything. So maybe there was productive conversation around it where Louis, they heard complaints like yours, and they were like, okay, ticket holders, season ticket holders, boosters, alumni, maybe they're not fans of this. Like, maybe we just need to tone it back. I'm sure we'll see multiple pictures of her probably in like the UNC box as the game's going on and the outfits and everything. But I haven't seen, she's been behind the scenes since all of this. So it looks like there was some receptive conversation between everyone that, like, let's keep it about football. Bill's private life is his private life.
For sure. And I went on her Instagram, and I just saw her blow a kiss to Bill Belichick. It was a picture on her Instagram, and someone responded and said, "You blowing a kiss to Grandpa?"
Oh.
And I just thought that was funny. I mean, listen, 51 years is a big.
That's a very big.
Almost
difference.
50 years is a big. That's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Louis. I appreciate you calling in.
It's always a pleasure talking to you guys.
You too.
You guys take care.
Thanks, Louis. All righty.
Louis was so upset that they are in this relationship. And it's funny because he's not the only one.
No, he's
like,
not.
There's somebody else that's also like, what is happening? It's the passion and concern for Bill. That's what cracks me up when people talk about it. I don't even think people necessarily care about the age as much as like, it's Bill. Like, I think people are truly upset and scared for Bill. Like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you're a Hall of Fame GOAT coach. Like, blink twice if you're okay. And like, Bill's just like, with his cut off sleeves on his hoodie, man.
He's fine. He is all good. That man's living a happy life. Hey, and at 71, that's how old he said? 71, right?
I think.
71, that's all you can ask for.
Facts. I guess so. We all want love, I guess.
Yeah. We wish the best for Bill.
Yes, we do.
We
If
wish
you
the
gathered
best for
anything
Bill.
from that, we wish the best for Bill.
Yep.
Okay.
And we appreciate our caller for tonight, too. It was great to bring the hotline back. Y'all didn't disappoint because I was a little nervous there. We haven't done the hotline in 2 weeks. Y'all were being scary, but not today. Not today. So thank y'all. And of course, thank y'all for joining us tonight. We're live on Twitch every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Of course, today we were live on Monday. Sometimes we switch it up, but we do like to stay consistent. So you'll find us here on Sundays. So make sure to sub or hit that follow button. And if you missed part of our stream tonight, don't worry. Every episode is posted on YouTube on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. On that note, we out.